Você pode falar. Qual a sua mensagem para a Terra, Belu?
Apenas que busque conhecimentos.
The purpose of the partners, as we call the 49 races, our partners, is to concretely change things here on Earth. They say that there's a clique of ETs that people know them as the Anunnakis. These guys have been running the show for a long time. They are the force behind the groups that people know by the names, by different names, the Cabal, the Anunnaki, the Illuminati, the 13 families, the rulers of the world, the controllers of the world. The Anunnakis are the force behind these people. Okay, these people are water boys for this Anunnaki group. Okay, they are errand boys. Okay, and we live in a prison, in a virtual prison that I like to call a matrix, because the analogy is really perfect. They fabricated a fake world and imprisoned us in this world. When I say fake, it was manufactured, fabricated. It's a world created by fake narratives. Our history is wrong. Even our science is flawed, highly flawed. So the partners have a completely different plan for the Earth, which is to change it concretely, to help us. This is very important, to help us to free ourselves from this crazy matrix, this crazy prison. And for that, they must to pass on information and technology. And they are not here to save us. They are here to provide us tools so that we can save ourselves. You see what I mean? This is our world. Part of the humans here, there's a part of the population that descend from these 49 races, okay? They are fully human, just like us, but with various sizes, colors, but they're humans. And part of the population descend from them. So they decided that this moment we're living, which is a transition between a huge 26,000 year cycle, it was the appropriate time for them to train a group here, because one person is not enough. One person can be killed. One person's voice can be suppressed, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds cannot. It's harder. And hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the world, that are receiving the info and are going to have access to these technologies that they introduce into the group, are going to be able to change concretely, this world. So, in their technology, in order to be able to manipulate light beams. That's why he can sort of appear all lit up, This is, we call the polarization of the biomagnetic field, which people know as aura. He can polarize it and thus light it up, It's a technology. He was trained for that. And we are being trained for that as well, okay? They wanted to train a group, a large group, so that we can pass on not only the information, but also the technology. That's why everything we do in our association, which is now an ecosystem, it is the Dakila ecosystem, because we have several companies, okay? Several companies under it. We have research center, we have an observatory we built here in our headquarters. We have a model city, a model town that's being built by our group, fully independent, with our own financial resources. We're not compromised, with anybody. Only with the 49 industries, we have patented already 10 technologies, so 15 actually technologies, in order to really help to change things concretely. We have recently celebrated an agreement with the with the with the United Arab Emirates, a base we have in Dubai, a very big base of research we have there. We're going to introduce key technologies that are going to have a worldwide exposure very soon that will help to change things. That's why you made the association. We have thousands of associates from more than 12 countries, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of persons were trained in order to have conversations with the partners of the 49 races. We have gatherings, we have meetings with them frequently where we talk physically, verbally, face to face with them. Why that? Because the partners say the content of the information, it is very, very controversial because nobody has ever heard of it. Because as the partners tell us, 100% of our information is flawed, is manipulated, it's altered, So if, for instance, Orangier, the president of Dakila, of the ecosystem, the first one trained by the 49 races, if it will be the only one, it will be very hard to believe the stuff they tell us.
Right.
If you'll be the only one that would say, "Oh, I just received a channeled information, or I received a telepathic message," it's easy to manipulate. I can say anything I want if I tell you that I receive a telepathic message from the 49, or if I'm channeling the information. It's very easy. I can say anything I want. How you guys are going to verify? Impossible. Now, if you have 200 persons listening to the partners talk there, physically, face to face, right there, it's a different thing. There's no way you can manipulate. This is the agreement our president Orangier made with the 49 races. All our interactions must be physical, verbal, face to face, everything, so that everybody can be sure about the content of the information. Not only that, okay, also because they are passing on technology, and sometimes it's very tricky, the concepts, the instructions. It has to be really physical, verbal, face-to-face, recording, filming, because sometimes it gets complicated what they tell us, especially concerning the path of the technology. Also the type of technology, we were promised to introduce to the population 123 different technologies that are going to impact the generation of energy, the extension of life, the improvement, the absurd improvement of our immunity, okay? And many other, agriculture, production, cattle, and animal husbandry, There are many technologies to help us really change things concretely, okay? This is a threat to the system. That's why they've been instructing us to form first an association, Project Portal, Project Portal, and then more recently we changed the name to Dakila, which is a word in their language. That means those that want to, seek knowledge, those that do not conform, those that want to really, the seekers of knowledge, the researchers, something like that, the idea of the name Dakila. And they instructed us to form an ecosystem. And they presented us 7 years ago with a new financial and economic system. They instructed us, they provided us with certain technologies in order to what? Create a digital payment system, completely independent from the system outside. So that we become independent and we cannot be influenced. We cannot be manipulated by any outside force. This is extremely important because the kind of technology we're about to, release to the world, present the world, is going to really change things, and is going to break very powerful monopolies. So we had to be really a big association, in order to really start passing on all this information and technology, especially because it is useless to receive information if the people that are in need, what are you going to do with this information? Nothing, because they need to eat, they need to live somewhere, they are sick, they are suffering, so they taught us to act in the way that we are acting, to create an association, now an ecosystem. We have several industries, you have several endeavors, that are focused on this, on introducing this new vision of reality, really, because we don't know where we live, guys. We don't know what life it's all about, where we come from, exactly how humans were fabricated, where we came from, our history, where we're going, what's all about, That's the purpose,